At 5:29 a.m., Michael received a message from his building manager. Do not use the elevator tonight. There was no explanation, no warning, just those 5 words. Michael stared at the message for a few seconds and laughed. He had lived in that apartment building for almost 3 years, and strange notices were nothing new. The pipes made terrifying noises, the lights often flickered, and the old elevator sometimes stopped between floors. But he had never taken the warnings seriously. Until that night. Michael had just finished working late and arrived at the entrance of his building. The hallway was completely empty. The only sound was the quiet humming of the old elevator. He pressed the button. A few seconds later, the elevator doors opened. Inside, everything looked normal. Except for one thing. The button panel had a new button. Floor 13. Michael frowned. The building only had 12 floors. He knew that because he had lived there for years. There was no 13th floor. The elevator panel had always ended at 12. He reached out and touched the button. Before he could press it, the elevator suddenly moved. The doors closed. Michael looked at the screen above the door. Floor 1. Floor 2. Floor 3. The elevator was going up. But then the numbers stopped changing. The screen went black. The lights inside the elevator started flickering. And then a new number appeared. Michael felt a cold feeling run through his body. The elevator stopped. The doors slowly opened. Outside was a hallway that looked exactly like his building. But something was wrong. The walls were older. The lights were broken. And every apartment door was covered with scratches. Michael stayed inside the elevator, afraid to move. Then he heard something. A voice. A woman whispering from the end of the hallway. Michael. His heart stopped. He had never told anyone his name. The voice came again. Michael, you finally came back. He stepped backward. The elevator doors started closing. But before they shut completely, Michael saw something standing at the end of the hallway. A person. Someone wearing the same jacket he was wearing. The elevator doors closed. Michael immediately pressed the button for the first floor. Nothing happened. The elevator stayed still. Then the screen changed. Instead of numbers, a message appeared. You left something behind. Michael didn't understand. The elevator suddenly started moving again. When the doors opened, he was back in the lobby. Everything looked normal. The lights were working. The building was quiet. He ran to his apartment and locked the door. For the rest of the night, he tried to convince himself that it was a dream. Until he noticed something on his phone. A new photo had appeared in his gallery. It was a picture taken inside the elevator. Michael was standing there. But he wasn't alone. Behind him was another version of himself. Smiling. The next morning, Michael went to the building manager and showed him the picture. The manager became completely silent. Then he asked one question. When did you move into this building? Michael looked confused. 3 years ago. The manager slowly shook his head. That's impossible. Why? The manager looked at the old elevator. Because 3 years ago, the previous tenant of your apartment disappeared. Michael felt his hands become cold. What was his name? The manager looked at him. Michael. That night, Michael packed his things and decided to leave. But when he walked into the elevator, he saw something that made him freeze. The button panel had changed. There were only 2 buttons. Ground floor. And 13. The elevator doors closed by themselves. And from inside the empty elevator, a voice whispered, "You can't leave twice."